All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, Greenwood Stock Trading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, Bob Arum admits that Terence Crawford should be a free agent after he fights Sean Porter. He called him Shane Porter. It was on Barbershop Conversation. My boy Sean sent it to me, so hit the thumbs up button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And Fred asked Bob Arum what was going on with Terence Crawford. He said after you fight Shane Porter or Sean Porter fight, if they can get that fight, he'll be a free agent. Now, Bud said he would have to fight one more fight to Teddy Atlas, but his corner said his contract is out in October, and I believe his contract is out in October. The Sean Porter fight. The reason I say that because the Sean Porter fight not gonna happen unless he on PBC. That's it. Sean Porter is not going to take that fight. Okay, Terence Crawford has to be across the street to take that fight. So, like I said before, man, that fight Sean Porter ain't crossing the street unless it's for the money he want. All right, and I don't see Bob Arum putting the money up in the purse bid financially to meet Sean Porter's demands. So for me, I think that Sean Porter fight won't happen until Bud is done with Top Rank and work a deal out. If it's a 1-fight deal out, if it's a 20-fight deal, whatever it is with PBC, it ain't gonna happen until he cross the street. Unless they meet Sean Porter's financial. Then think about this for a minute. Why would Bob Arum put the money up for Sean Porter now and wouldn't put him up for Sean Porter a few months ago and Terence Crawford about to leave? Think about that for a minute. Why would he put the money up now? Then he admitted that Terence Crawford about to leave. I think Crawford leave and that Sean Porter fight will be on the table for him. You gotta ask yourself, do Crawford want to go over there anymore? Ain't no Errol Spence. Pacquiao has one more fight on his contract with PBC. They said he had an option. And I'm guessing that's a PBC option. Mikey Garcia said they told him that Pacquiao gonna fight one more time. So the fight for Terence Crawford to come to PBC is Pacquiao. Okay, that is Pacquiao. And people talking about Errol Spence, he can come back from a torn in the retina. I was listening to Stephen Bradman Edwards say, and I figured that. But the question is, Terence come fight Shane Porter. I'm sounding like Bob Arum. Sean Porter. Then what's next? When is Errol gonna come back? The first quarter of next year? Cool. The question is, can they make Errol and Terence Crawford? And if Pacquiao beat Errol, does Pacquiao hang around for another fight? Because that'll be 2 fights right there. He got one more fight in his original contract and they got an option on him. So you gotta ask yourself, if Pacquiao beat Ugas and beat Spence, does he hang around and fight Terence Crawford? For most people, yes. Because that'll be for undisputed. He'd be the only oldest, probably undisputed in four. I know for a fact 4-belt undisputed champ, but there's nothing for certain. There's nothing for certain for Terence Crawford. If Earl win and beat Pacquiao, what if he move up and fight Canelo? They already put Canelo in a 3-fight contract. And then for him, do you want to fight Errol Spence anymore? I know he said his goal is to be undisputed at welterweight, and that's something that he ain't accomplished, but I mean, I guess the belts would be the ultimate goal. Because beating Errol Spence is gonna be all types of excuses, and that was gonna be like that from day one. The original excuse is gonna be he drained. The other excuse is he had a car accident. The other excuse is his eye now. So, but Bob Arum admitted, this guy, somebody must be walking up the street. But yeah, my bad. But Bob Arum admitted that he a free agent after the Shane Porter fight. That's what he said, Sean Porter. But they say he a free agent, whether he fight or not. When October expires, his contract is up. So Bob Arum said he's best for Terence Crawford to be a free agent and pick and choose the best fights. But you know what's so funny? When Roy Jones did that back in the day, Bob Arum said that wasn't a good thing, and that's why Roy Jones never really made the money or got the superstardom that he could have got working with a promoter. He said, I forgot where I was watching that at, but it was like some type of Roy Jones documentary or some type of box. It was something about Roy Jones or something. And he said Roy Jones could have been a bigger star had he had a promoter, because what a promoter does is they build up a fighter to make the public think this is going to be a big fight, it's competitive, and that's how you become something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but now times change and opinions change when you get more information, and I think he's right. But the thing about being a free agent is these promoters dirty. You see what happened with Michael Fox. These promoters dirty as hell. Okay, and what could happen for him is he goes to the promotional company and they rob him. So when you kind of go into somebody's promotional company, you ain't part of their stable, then you got to think stoppage. And I think he thinking stoppage regardless. But you got to think stoppage, and then going for the stoppage, that's a risk of getting stopped. That's why some fighters don't go for the stoppage, because it's a risk of you getting stopped, you getting tired. But once you perfect being a finisher or a stopper, you dangerous. But if it's a guy that'll travel to different promotional companies and travel to niggas' backyards, that's going to be successful, it's going to be Terence Crawford. But guess what? The time is ticking for him. The time is ticking, right? So for him, he need to get this shit popping. If it's taking less to make more, it's taking less to make legacy, let's go out there and get the damn job done. If you got to go through Pacquiao, Ugas, Errol Spence, and if I think Ugas win, I think they allow Crawford fight Ugas. At this point, if you cross the street, I think you might be looking at Crawford and Ugas. I think you might be looking at them at the end of this year. Or if he fights Shane Porter. If they fight this year, next year, you can see them fight in the beginning of next year. I know Earl said no tune-ups, but naturally, you never know how I gonna heal. But whoever fuck him up, beat him up, no matter if it's by a point or it's by a first-round knockout, honestly, you're not going to get your full credit. So the goal have to be the belts. But Bob Arum giving Bud the advice to be a free agent, I think that's smart. And I think that's what he should do. But then again, PBC, they don't be wanting you to do that. I think he need to negotiate a deal with PBC to get the 3 fights or 2 fights he wants. If it's Ugas and Errol Spence, if it's Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, if it's just Errol Spence, cool. And you always want to see fighters retire on top. So whatever his goal is, if his goal is Sean Porter, Ugas, Errol Spence, and to move up and try to get a 154-pound belt, it's time for him to set that goal right now. To be with PBC. If it's those 3 fighters, then go get Charlo. If it's Pacquiao, go get Charlo. If it's Pacquiao, Spence, then Charlo. If it's Sean Porter, Spence, then Charlo, Castanos. I think it's time for him to make that decision. I think a decision is made. It's time for him to get out the game. And like he made his money, he invested his money, took care of his money. I hate to see fighters fight beyond their prime. And one interesting thing he said in a Teddy Atlas interview is he ain't scared to lose. He don't care about his so he got the perfect mentality to go see if he can get those. He can go get those wins, man. But if Ugas win, him and Ugas would be a great fight too. Ugas beat him in the amateurs, outpointed him. Let's see what's up now. But Bob Arum giving him some good advice, and Bob Arum, he spoke. He said, "Man, I'm losing money on this guy. So why would I want to re-sign him? Go do what's best for you. Go get those belts and then come back and talk to me. Or go get those belts and be successful." But Bob Arum ain't want to let a known commodity and a prime commodity walk away. And he knows he ain't got no fights for him. He can talk about how he got big fights for him, no big fights over them. Nobody want to see him and Josh Taylor, honestly. They want to see him and Errol Spence and Pacquiao. Let's get that popping. Imagine him and Errol Spence for Undisputed. That'd be huge. Him and Ugas for Undisputed. Him and Pacquiao for all that'd be huge. But Bob Arum don't usually let known commodities walk. Prime commodities, but he know what's up, and Terence gotta go do what's best for him. The only question is when he knocked, will Al Heyman answer? Because they going through some financial turmoil. But him and Spence can say the company. Him and Spence can say the company. But he got options over there. You can fight Tank Davis if they let you. You can fight Keith, Sean. But at the end, he at the end of his prime right now. I only want prime. I only want the fights that got belts. That's it. I only want the fights that got belts. I don't want that other shit. I want the fights that got belts. You feel me? So he want the big fights, the ones he's looking for, and he can do whatever he want to do in the rest of his career. But he definitely the perfect fighter to be a free agent, whoop ass, and try to get knockouts and not get robbed. But interesting interview. He said it on Barbershop Conversation. Bob Arum. And funny is they talk shit about Top Ranking Bob, but Bob get him airtime regardless. So that's dope. But hey, check out the boxing news and welterweight playlist. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all my social media link subscription. Twitter's passed away. And Facebook and Instagram. Facebook group link there as well too. All my social media link subscription. Facebook group link there as well too. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate: thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. One time, Goodfellas Sports TV. My power's still out, so we gotta do it this way. Peace.